Good morning, beautiful tribe. Here I am again, EduardoEmris, with a little message for today. I just finished my yoga. I practice Kundalini yoga in the morning, and I always get clarity in my mind, in whatever I'm focusing, and I am being guided to send you a little message today of encouragement to work on yourself and to realize, and to realize that everything that you dream, it's possible. Everything that you believe can become real, it's possible. And I think we all have that very internal compass that guides you towards a reality that might not be what we have in front. It could be completely different of what we have in front of us. And so how to navigate in this land of so many conflicting messages and ideals and realities and truth, how to navigate and how to find your own truth. Well, for me, meditation and yoga has been the answer, truthfully. I'm someone who was abused by my own psychologist when I was a kid, when I was a very troubled kid. And since then, I kind of built this trust towards doctors. And so that's put me in the path of self-discovery, of trying to find my own answers, trying to find my own solutions, and pretty much navigate my life through trial and error. And that trial and error led me to Tappilini to practice Kundalini and tapping, and to find this combination of two techniques that have helped so many people around the world and put together this new beautiful piece of technology that is called Tappilini. So what Tappilini does to me is giving me the clarity, giving me that space where there is no confusion or conflicting interest within my mind. Sometimes your mind has two very different realities. One, what it's been told through education, culture, bullying, abuse, trauma, all that information, plus information that receives from deep within yourself, something that tells you, well, that might be true for people around me. They might say that I'm a fat bastard, but I see myself differently. And there is this conflicting, this is just an example, this is this kind of conflicting paradigm that creates so much tension. And what Tappilini does is it severs, it cuts the this tension, this conflict. It severs the signals that goes from the brain into the nervous system. That is what scientifically proven does tapping and meditation, transcendental meditation. And so what do we get once we get that clarity? So, because obviously, yes, the conflict is very damaging. It can be very debilitating. It can be very stressing and the source of so much disease. But what is it for? I mean, once we have all that clarity and we have the peace and we know that we can change, what happens? Well, what has happened to me is to feel empowered to believe in myself and to take the steps necessary to create my new reality. And that comes with self-validation. I don't know if you have ever suffered from lower self-esteem, that you feel or believe that you are not good enough, or you're not worth it, or whatever you do, it's of no importance or of no value to anyone. Or however hard you work, you never get the results that are appreciated, or to get the validation from people around you or the world around you. Well, if you have experienced that point within yourself of low self-esteem and depression and sadness, anger, that's where Tappilini comes very handy, because it simply stops you from feeling that way. And once you stop feeling that way, or start attaching to that story, there is something within yourself that begins to kind of come out, like this little new flower or plant that comes in the middle of the pavement and concrete, and suddenly you see something coming out, like, how the hell, where do you come from? Well, that little something that comes out of the no way, and some way happens, some new way happens. It's self-belief, it's self-empowerment, and with that you face a new challenge. Like, okay, so now that I believe in myself a little bit, at least this tiny bit, what am I going to do with it? And that is a new challenge, but it's part of life, part of what are we doing here? Who are we, and what are we doing here? It's this process of self-discovery. Who do we are? Who are we? And that question, as long as we have that question, we will always be kind of navigating the map to say, well, am I this? Well, could be, but not really. What about that? Now, that process, as long as you stay grounded in your truth, and you say, well, what is my truth? Well, you may not understand it, but there is a truth that you know. And that comes from the silence of meditations, the silence of non-reaction. And I know it sounds very philosophical, and if you are new to meditation, this may sound like, but I have found that truth within the silence of self-discipline and self-sacrifice. The knowing that my mind may want to dwell in pain and addiction and suffering, and like, oh my God, I'm so weak, I am so poor, I am so fat, I am so not good enough, I am so terrible, and I deserve to be punished, and blah 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 blah, and mind may want to dwell in that world, but there is heart, or there is this inner knowing that is pure and unaffected by trauma. And if you quiet the mind long enough, you will start hearing the messages from deep within you. And that is your truth. Whatever that truth is, lies within you in that space of silence. And that space of silence can be reached through many ways. Some people do it through heroin. And others do it through extreme sports. Others do it through bottles of wine. Others do it through sex and orgasm. But the way I found that is the most long-lasting and self-reliance, when you only rely on yourself without needing to to be codependent of substances or other people for validation, or other sources of validation. It's our own compass, and that happens in silence. So if you have ever or are experiencing at this point some stress, pain, suffering, conflict, inner conflict that may project to an outer conflict, people telling you, you have to do this, you have to do that, oh, you are this, you are that, you are that. If that is happening to you and you somehow feel like, well, that doesn't resonate with me, I may be all this bungle of chaos, but I know there is a truth within me because I dream of a better life. I dream of a greater existence. I dream of a beautiful reality. I dream of love. I dream of happiness. I dream of health. I dream of adventure and empowerment. And I dream of so many beautiful things. So I believe that if we are able to dream it, it's because we are able to have it. It would be very cruel of this reality to present us an opportunity and just completely deny it from us, or take it away from us before we can even experience it or reach it. So Tappilini, this is where Tappilini becomes very handy. Tappilini simply presents you the opportunity to reach that place within your heart that tells you, who are you and what are you doing here? And give you the opportunity to work with what you have. This is very important. Use the bloody lemons that you have in your hand and start making lemonade. Stop wanting to create a orange-nade or strawberry-lade and start making lemonade, and realize that what you have right now is the perfect opportunity to know yourself. The weaker you feel, the sicker you feel, the more dead you feel, the more alive you can aspire to be. Remember, we are in a world of dualities. So one comes with the other. It's just like, that's the universal law on this plane, on this universe, on this three-dimensional world. So if you experience death, if you experience sickness, depression, sadness, and all that darkness, remember that there is the opportunity to experience within this lifetime the opposite, and the shift, and where the beautiful inner free will, the free will that is being talked in so many philosophies. What free will? And sometimes we feel like we have no choice. Well, that free will is about choosing between those realities, knowing that you are experiencing this and it may feel like you have no choice, but knowing that somewhere, somehow, that choice exists. And you only have to begin to find it, begin to open up your mind, breaking up old patterns, to begin to realize that that choice, the opposite choice of what you're experiencing, truly exists within yourself right now. And that is where Tappilini comes very handy, because it has given me, I mean, and if I tell you how dark my darkness was, you will probably go like honestly, it would be shocking, because it's shocking to me. It's shocking, and at the same time very empowered to say, wow, I come from that low. I come from that deep. So I will invite you to dwell into a new experience of adventure, and give it a try to Tappilini. Why Tappilini, and why now? Simply because there are no coincidences in this world, and for some reason you are listening to this message, and somehow we've been connected like these dots behind me. We've been connected by some sort of magic and structure of the world, and you've been presented with the opportunity to try Tappilini. Tappilini is tapping and Kundalini meditation plus breath work. And I give you the link. It's www.tappilini.com, and you can download your free audio where with the whole meditation, for the whole process, 25 minutes, because we repeat a mantra 5 times in one breath, and this mantra is Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. We repeat that sequence 108 times, and that at the same time that we are tapping different points, the eyebrows, the side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, the lip, chin, collarbone, heart, arm, and finally we start with the karate point. It may feel at the beginning a little bit like, wow, all that at the same time. But with practice, you can start by just listening to the mantra. Just sit and listen to the mantra, and then read the words and try to repeat the words. Get used to it. Get used to your mind processing all that information, which it may not understand, and that's absolutely fine. You say, well, what am I repeating? What language is this? And what am I saying? And you at the beginning may not know, but you're going to feel. You're going to feel the vibration. You're going to feel how it feels to enter the vibratory frequency of Kundalini transcendental meditation. Plus, if you start tapping, then you will get into this process of self-cleansing, like very powerful and intense and rapid. It's like a rapid test, like boom, like from beginning to end, you feel the difference. You don't have to meditate for 20 years. You can feel it right away, and I think that's why makes Tappilini also so amazing. Anyway, I have talked too much. I think that has been enough for today. I thank you for just being you and for being part of Tappilini tribe. And I will invite you, if you are not, to please look at my tribe in English, Tappilini, my tribe in English, and join. And join so you can start receiving these messages in the morning and connect within the vibration of transformation. My name is EduardoEmris, and with all my love, I approve this message. Sat Nam, Namaste, hasta la próxima.